Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Kirby's Adventure. Now we're going to take on level 5 at the yogurt yard. Alright, so as you can see, we have now entered yet another gorgeous hub world. I love these. And so we are going to go ahead and take on the first stage of level 5 at yogurt yard. So of course we have some more, several hidden switches spread out throughout this level as well. Just like we have previously in the past. I don't know why it would be any different since of course I am going to 100% the game. So we're going to go ahead and finish off with the rest of the hidden switches. But this level does have several of them in the different stages of this level. So we're going to go ahead and start to get into a little bit more difficult hidden switches to find. But as we enter this, we have, as you can see, we're on top of a little cliff and we fall down into an endless just sky. I love this part. Just being able to, you know, kind of see the visual in the backdrop there. We have nothing but clouds, Kirby's falling. Everything just looks very well done from a visual standpoint. But if you go ahead and break these star blocks and actually fall down here, that doorway up there is where you're supposed to go, but there's a hidden doorway here, and we find our first hidden switch of the level. And that will open the Crane Fever game of level 5. Go ahead and grab our energy drink for some more energy because we are going to need it because this level is when things start to heat up. But yeah, no, kind of, I know I kind of talked about this game being pretty straightforward and pretty easy, but there definitely is challenge and definitely is difficulty, which I have kind of talked about already. And I do kind of want to apologize if I feel like I've kind of beat the horse, so to speak, when it comes to just really fanboying, I guess, over this game's level design. I know that's kind of really all I've talked about so far in the playthrough, but I just really can't get enough of it. And it could just be personal bias. Alright, so I went ahead and went into the Crane Fever game, and just wanted to see if we can get some extra 1-ups. Didn't quite go as planned, but we were going to go ahead and take on stage 2. But yeah, so as I was saying, I want to kind of talk a little bit more, kind of less on the game's visual design. I know I've talked a lot about that. I'm definitely going to continue to talk about it, but I want to kind of talk about other things as well. I also do want to say this is my, this being kind of my first channel, doing commentary within Let's Plays. I had a channel prior, but I did not do any commentary. So this is kind of something that's a little bit newer for me, so I apologize if it's a little dry, and maybe repetitive, or if I say, you know, a few things that may seem like I'm saying saying the same things over and over. I apologize. I can be awkward at times, and that is just something that I do. But I want to kind of talk about just some personal things that have been going on in my life as well, and I think it's important to always share kind of what we're going through in life. I think depression is definitely a big part of life, and I think, you know, everybody goes through it every now and then. I think a lot of people go through it, maybe not everybody, but it's important to kind of just understand that, you know, just taking all the time you need, if you need to take time out, sometimes is the best thing. So just wanted to kind of bring that up as well. And I get depressed every now and then, so maybe that's why my commentary comes off as dry, but also it's my first time doing it, so just wanted to kind of talk about that. But also want to bring up that I found a millipede, really, I think it was a few weeks ago. Yeah, it was just, the thing was just kind of, you know, just hanging out in my room and on my carpet. I thought it was like a worm or something. I thought it was kind of weird this time of year to see worms like indoors. So I kind of freaked out a little bit, threw it outside, and lo and behold, I didn't know it was a millipede and it was curled up. But we have, as you see, we have the mini boss Bonkers makes a return in this level. So same thing as before, just want to avoid his hammer attacks. If you have an ability like I do, you can quickly take him out. But we're going to go ahead and take his hammer ability and move right along. But yeah, I actually found a millipede, and it was kind of curled up. So I threw it outside because I didn't really know what it was, and I figured it would just survive better outdoors. I didn't literally throw it outside, but I kind of let it outside and noticed it was curled up, and yeah, it was kind of, I looked it up and realized that they don't survive. I think it was like 40 degrees the night that I found it and put it outside, and wow, that was not too good. Trying to get that one up there. but it was, I looked it up and I didn't know they can't survive in like certain degrees weather, so I kind of quickly picked it back up, brought it back inside, and actually have made a homemade substrate for it. And I'm kind of learning how to raise a millipede. So it's actually a pretty smaller one, but it's just kind of funny. I just wanted to kind of bring that up. But we're gonna go ahead and finish off this stage, and we are just soaring through the level now. Alright, so we have now unlocked stage 3. So let's continue onward, shall we? But yeah, with this level, I haven't really talked a lot about this level yet. I've been kind of ranting about my, not necessarily ranting, but I guess updating whoever's watching this out there about my millipede I've been raising. And by the way, I've had it for about 3 weeks, so just in case anybody was wondering, that's how long I've had it. But this level is, haven't talked a lot about this level. It's a lot of kind of gliding through, like, again, we're kind of like up in the clouds. We have a variety of different landscapes we're kind of traveling through. As you can see, we're kind of on the top of like a wooded area now. And we have seen, again, return of a few different enemies and mini bosses we've seen before. They will come up, of course, in future levels as well. Typical Kirby stuff. If you've not played this game or Kirby's Dream Land, a lot of the enemies are reoccurrent, and they kind of, reappear quite frequently. But we have now the wheel ability, so I wasn't actually able to show this off a lot before, but I am now. Also, these guys, I didn't realize until I was actually editing one of the earlier episodes where I was fighting the first boss of the game, but for some reason I said that those little Poppy Bros guys are rolling on bouncy balls. Those are apples. I don't know why my brain went to bouncy balls when I recognized the Wispy Woods boss fight of apples falling off the tree. Somehow I knew those were apples, but I didn't know that yeah, I don't know. My brain is really weird. But anyways, if you go into this room, you will find a Maximum Tomato and a 1-Up. But they require a certain ability to get to. So if you take the stone ability, as you can see, we totally failed in getting the 1-Up. So we're going to go ahead and try the other side for the Maximum Tomato. And luckily it didn't drop all the way down like the 1-Up did, so we were able to grab that. So kind of nice that you're able to kind of use, again, certain abilities are required for getting certain items that are either hard to get to or maybe hidden throughout the game. As you can see, we now grab the Parasol ability. I haven't really showed a lot of that yet. We went ahead and lost it because that's another thing that we do a lot in this game. We just grab abilities for 2 to 3 seconds, lose them, and that's kind of how it goes. But I'm going to go ahead and grab this energy drink, and we're going to go ahead and finish this stage off. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and grab some extra points. Don't really need them because I never care about the points, but they're there anyways. But now we're going to go ahead and take on stage number 4 of level 5. Alright, so as you can see, we have now spawned already inside of a cave. We have a fireball ability that we were given from that enemy. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can, of course, not keep it very long. I don't know what it is with me and just losing abilities in 5 seconds. I'm an ability loser. I don't know what other name there is for that. Either that or I'm just terrible at games. But I love playing it no matter what, so I'm still going to play it. I don't care. You can't make me not play this game. This is an awesome game. But we're going to try to grab this fireball ability again and try to get through this area. I kind of want to show this off better. And there we go. So that's how you actually successfully manage to navigate through those spikes, even though I died immediately after successfully doing so. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try this again, because what's not to, a little bit of perfection, you practice makes perfect. So practicing the same type of levels over and over and dying repeatedly and losing abilities repeatedly is just something that is key to success, apparently. But yeah, kind of going back into this level, again, not really a lot to say. The levels, if you've been watching up to this point, or if you play this game before, a lot of levels, again, there's just a lot of different variety to them, and a lot of them are straightforward with, again, we have a cave we're traveling through, going through different doorways, and then now we have a mini boss fight, so we're out of the cave already. But this is going to be your next Meta Knight mini boss. We have, of course, this time is Axe Knights. They are moving at a very snail pace, and somehow I'm still getting hit by them, because that's just part of this Let's Play, is just getting hit unnecessarily. But no, these guys are pretty easy to take out. This is one of the easier mini-boss fights when it comes to these guys. As you can see, we had, looks like Trident Knight was up there for a second. But mainly Axonites are going to be moving at a snail's pace. Looks like, you know, they do get a little bit faster as you go. But they're pretty easy to take down if you're not terrible at the game like me. I'm just kidding. I give myself such a hard time, but it's all jokes. I just like to be sarcastic. I don't like to take life serious. That's just how I roll. Here we go. So we're moving on, and as you can see, we have a gorgeous waterfall area of the stage. So as you can see, we are constantly changing up the landscapes in this game, which is one of the reasons why I love it so much, and it's dearest to my heart, as well as allowing it to have replayable replay value, being able to replay this game as many times and you never hate it. That's what a game should be. I mean, you want to have a game that has a lot of replay value, and it adds to just the awesomeness of the game. But we're gonna go ahead and grab this Maximum Tomato. That 1-up, I'm not entirely sure how to get that. I'm not even fooling myself. I have no idea how to get that, but if you go into this doorway, you have your next hidden switch, which will unlock the arena of level 5. And out we go. But yeah, anyone that's that 1-up, oh, there it is. I thought it disappeared for a second. I'm like, I don't think that's a thing that happens, but it's still there. But yeah, anyone that's like I'm sure the experts of this game that's watching this are seeing me kind of pass those 1-ups, and they're just like, oh my god, like they're face palming every time I pass that stuff. I know they are. You're out there, you're watching this video, the you know, one of the 20 people that watch my videos, you're out there. I know you're out there, and you hate it when I do that. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and finish the stage off, and we are actually nearing the end of the level, believe it or not. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead, that's gonna go ahead and open up stage 5. So we're gonna make our way on over there as we float on over. Alright, so now as you can see, we are back outside of a tree area. So this is one of my favorite level designs. I didn't really mention this before. We had a couple stages like this in the first couple of levels. But I love the tree design, like the backdrop of the trees and the forest. It just looks so amazing. But this area is going to be a little bit of a puzzle here. So basically what you want to do is you have another fuse that you need to basically light on fire, and then you have to use that high jump ability to jump over into the cannon. We failed there, so we're gonna go ahead and try it again and see if we can get it this time. Oh crap, that didn't quite work out. Let's see if we can do this, and we need our fire ability. So I actually recommend grabbing that high jump ability, leaving, and then coming back in. If you can somehow clear those star blocks and get those out of your way first, it's much easier to light the fuse and then quickly jump over versus lighting it, jumping through the blocks, and then trying to still make it in the cannon. As you can see, we easily made it in that time. So we're going to go ahead and find our next hidden switch up in the top of this tree area. And that'll open up the quick draw minigame of level 5. And we proceed. But yeah, kind of like I was saying, or going back to what I was saying about the tree design, I love the backdrop of the trees. It just, again, adds an extra layer to the game where you're not just, you know, going through the same type of level or the same type of stages throughout each level all the time. That's nice to kind of switch things up. It makes it just feel fresh every time, you know, you're traveling to a level. And I missed the Maximum Tomato. I saw it there. I missed it though, but there was one back there. But now we have another warp star. So we're gonna go ahead and warp on through the trees and see where it takes us. And it looks like we are back to a castle type location. So we're back on a castle. So this area is, again, another one of my favorite designs. I love just the, even like the color saturation of like the backdrops are nice. But this guy is the Fire Lion. So this is the next mini boss that we have yet to encounter. As you can see, I took him down in no time flat. This guy is pretty easy to take down, but you do receive the fireball ability after taking him down. So we're gonna go ahead and take that as we move forward here. And now we are back outside of the trees. We have a bunch of enemies that are just waiting to demolish us and embarrass us in front of everybody that's watching this playthrough. But we're not going to let them do that. We're going to go ahead and lose our ability to an apple. And yeah, that's just something that's, you know, it was something that was destined to happen right now. It just had to. But we're going to go ahead and move on and end the stage. Alright, so we got another 1-up. I'm getting a little bit better at those jumps. Can't say I'm perfect, but progress certainly can get there. So as you can see, we have now opened up stage 6. But we're going to go ahead and actually go into the arena, and we're going to fight Bonkers in here. So Bonkers will be found in the arena of this level. I highly recommend fighting him for the next stage coming up, because there's actually a hidden switch that we will need the hammer ability for. And I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about as we get there. We have the hammer ability now after defeating Bonkers and got our health filled with to the max with that Maximum Tomato. So let's go ahead and take on stage 6. Alright, so as you can see, we have some more wheelie enemies. These guys are very fast, so I highly recommend flying all the way to the top of these platforms and avoiding them. You do not want to lose your hammer ability in this stage. Obviously going through the trouble of getting it from the arena from Bonkers is very important, so you want to make sure you do not get hit at all. If you do, try to grab the ability back as fast as you can, because you are going to need it for a hidden switch coming up. If you lose it, you will not get it, and you will not be able to 100% the game. That's just something important to keep in mind. We have some more stone enemies. We're going to try to get those out of our way, because they can cause a little bit of an issue, since we definitely don't want to lose our hammer. Go ahead and get those guys out of my sight there. We're going to go ahead and move on with it then. Avoid the sword guy. And we want to actually go over here. As you see, we're now back out on an island. I love the island visual. The trees in this game just look amazing. I think that's why I love the island so much. They just look so realistic. It's like we're on vacation. I mean, like I said before, like this is a vacation. Playing this game feels like a vacation. It's an escape, and I love it. But we're going to go ahead and use our hammer ability to smash these star blocks right here in the middle of this thingy. Enter this passageway and another hidden switch, which will unlock the warp star door. And we'll grab our Maximum Tomato there, and we'll go ahead and leave. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and actually exit back out the same way we came in. We're going to go ahead and end the stage. That was the final stage of the level. So as you know, after 6 stages, we now have another boss. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take on the next boss of the game. Alright, so we now have the next boss, which is Heavy Mole. So this guy can be a little challenging, I'm not going to lie. This is, if you've made it to the game this far and you've gotten through Krakow, this guy is probably going to be nothing to you. Or have, you know, he's going to be pretty easy for the most part. He is easy. I think the thing with this boss is it's just a very time-consuming boss. So this guy is going to spit out these little, I guess, bullet type things. And what you want to do is you want to swap. If you have an ability that's actually not, it's really not that useful in this boss fight since you're kind of flying around a lot. And if you go off screen even a little bit, you will automatically die and have to restart the boss over. So I recommend not doing that. It's actually wise to just kind of go into this without an ability, just normal. With the swallowing attack, as you see, you want to swallow those things, spit it back out at him, not getting too close to him, because as you can see, those digging things that he uses will do quite a bit of damage if you get too close. So continue your pattern, and we're going to try not to die here. No promises guaranteed, because this is actually a boss that it's not a hard boss, it just kind of can be frustrating, and as you can see, that's one reason why. But now we're going to go ahead and take on this guy again, but this time we're not going to fail. So yes, this guy, like I said, he's not hard. He just is a little bit of a time-consuming boss where just his pattern is just kind of takes a while. I'm an impatient person. I think I have ADD. I've never been diagnosed, but I feel like I have to because I just cannot stand waiting. Again, not too hard, but it just takes a little bit of patience. And oh, I'm surprised I made that. I almost dropped down there. But a little bit of patience, and this fight will really be pretty simple. But yeah, kind of like I said, there's really not much else to him. Spit enough of these things back out at him, and he eventually will go down. We have other boss fights coming up later that are a little bit more challenging, but they are... I would say this is probably the most time-consuming boss, and probably the most... I guess difficult if you're not used to the patterns and you're maybe a new player, or you're not really expecting to be kind of, because you're kind of floating around the entire screen here, you know, and it's very easy to die if you kind of go off screen. So I guess in that sense he's difficult, but otherwise it's really not a big challenge. But he's gonna kind of dig through this cave pretty deep, but as you can see, we finally took him down. We have an next star rod, and I will see you guys next time when we take on level 6.